All right, wine drinking people, this job just keeps getting better and better. And when I have somebody like the director of sales and marketing for Martinelli Winery come in, man, I just pinch myself. Great stuff. And you don't often see little producers like this working the market. It's nice to see that they've recognized Florida is the #2 market in the United States of America. For domestic wines, we drink a lot of California wine here in Florida. All right, well, Martinelli, fifth generation growers from Sonoma County. They've been there since the 1890s. Wow, in Green Valley, there's even a road named after them right across the street from the Jackass Hill Vineyard. One of their most famous wines is Zinfandel, which I'm not a big fan of their Jackass Hill Zinfandel, but maybe it's because I'm not a big fan of Zinfandel. All right. Well, the Chardonnay sees double fog intrusion, so a really cold climate, and you wouldn't know this by these wines. These wines are full throttle fruit, very rich. They're not wines that I would consider aging for a long, long time, but, you know, they're definitely got a couple years in them. I don't know, Parker, you know, rates them drinking the next 1, 2, 3 years. So you may not want to hold them for too long, even if you like to age Chardonnays, all right? You know who I'm talking about. Okay, well, the Martinelli Road Vineyard, 2007, was the first wine that we had. And, you know, this is an outstanding bottle of Chardonnay. I've had Martinelli Road many times. I always tell people the great Helen Turley, you know, makes these wines. She also makes the same wines under her Marcassin label, some from the same vineyards as Martinelli, and like 3 times the price, 4 times the price. Well, actually, let's see, $58 Marcassins, $150 at least for their Chardonnay. So, yeah, 3 times the price. But, hey, Helen is leaving. 2010's her last harvest there. She completed her own winery, so she doesn't need the Martinellis anymore. I thought they were good friends. I don't know, maybe. You know, Brian, their winemaker there, has been there. Brian Kamev has been there since 1997. I don't think things are going to change at Martinelli, folks. Don't worry your little heads off, okay? But still the same style of winemaking, minimal interventionist, non-fine, non-filtered, non-cold stabilized, non-heat stabilized. All right, you get it. Don't put these wines in extreme heat or cold. They're not going to like it. But very, you know, handmade wines, 50% French oak barrels, new oak. You definitely get the cloudiness in there from the non-fine to non-filtered. You definitely notice the oakiness of these wines. But they have a ton of fruit. You know, if you have a lot of oak, you need to have fruit, and these wines have it all. All right, well, the first wine, you know, a nice amount of richness there, and the notes of cinnamon and creme caramel on the nose, lush pear and pineapple fruit showing on the tongue, with a high natural acidity and a low pH, but like I said, so much fruit, man. You really don't, these are not crisp wines. They're heavy, they're rich, and still some nice balance at the end, and a nice hand of oak spice as well there. Most excellent stuff. If you like a big, rich Chardonnay, this is for you. The 2007 Zio Tony. Hey, Uncle Tony. This is Uncle Tony's Ranch. A bit richer and riper. Candied apricot, vanilla spice, caramel corn. Some nice minerality there also. And this is adjacent to the Linmar Ranch on Fry Road. And, you know, big, oaky, again, rich Chardonnay. You know, maybe I like the balance of the Martinelli just a little bit better than the Zio Tony. Maybe just a little more heavy-handed. All right, next up, the 2009 Pinot Noir Belle Vigna from Russian River. Lovely black raspberry-like fruit with lots of perfume, exotic spices, fresh floral nuance here. This is a blend of different ranches from all over the estate, and lovely perfume. You know, that's one of the things I notice about the nose on all of these wines. Just really exotic and just really draw you into the glass. All right, and smooth and velvety on the tongue, silky texture. One of the things we love about Pinot, the texture. Lovely, ripe fruit, maybe a little bit over the top in style, but still balanced, and got some nice freshness on the finish and some nice spice. Most excellent Pinot, man. Both of these Pinots were just most excellent. The Moonshine Vineyard, which you can guess they used to make moonshine on this vineyard. That's why they call it that. And it's a bigger and darker fruit there. A little black raspberry, black cherry with, again, that pretty floral nuance. Some roasted character maybe to the fruit here. Wow, big and thick on the tongue. This wine's 2 years older even. And you can just tell this quality of this 2007 vintage. Outstanding for Pinot Noir. Layers of fruit, rich and sappy. Big, but again, still fresh. Most excellent juice here again. All right, next up is the Syrah Terra Felice from the Russian Rivers. And this wine had a lovely dark plum and black cherry fruit. Cooler climate Syrah, but man, like I said, you wouldn't know with these Martinelli wines because they are just so big and lush. But as big and lush as this Syrah was, still had some nice freshness to the finish. Kind of a note of that burnt campfire wood in the nose there also, and some dark cocoa nuance. But again, you know, big and plummy. and big and fruity rather on the palate, and you know, still finished with a little bit of nice freshness, some black pepper spice also at the end there. $61. A little hard to sell Syrah in that price range. All right, well, we've got all the other Martinelli wines that are available listed on here. I didn't taste all these that, you know, we put Parker scores under, but you know, a really outstanding winery and some great stuff. Check it out. Next up, we've got our friends from Talbot Winery from the Santa Lucia Highlands from the Monterey Peninsula.